Well, Tiger used to always talk about it, man.
The power fade?
When he would
walk
walk
up that
up
was
to,
intentional.
When he walked up to the...
We're back to test the T250, which is new and replacing that T200 line, and the new iteration of the T350. Okay, so really big changes to the T250, all right? Both lines really, but the biggest thing here is a new L-face design that I'm just really excited about, Joe. They took it to the USGA, and USGA came back to Titleist and said, I don't know what you guys did, who did this, this is phenomenal, it's a breakthrough. When you hear that from the USGA, that's a pretty dang high compliment.
Yeah.
So really, really excited to try this out. I hit it yesterday in a fitting with Titleist out in PA, and I was blown away. I'm doing that in the 4-iron. I'm doing T150s from the 5 down to the pitching wedge. Absolutely loved them, and it was a huge improvement from the T200 to the T250. So I am in feel and performance, and that L-face design is noticeable. So let's bring in Nick Sherburne for some tech talk about the T250 and T350 irons.
Now, when we get to the 250 to 350, we see a lot of changes from the last model. Let's start with the 250. Again, this is going to be kind of like that, it's going to look like that hollow body look like everybody has now, where you get more forgiveness. It's more of like a wood construction, if you will. That being said, before you had a badge back here, you had multiple pieces on there, and so it wasn't bad, but there was a little bit of a sound and feel variance with it that they got feedback wasn't great. So in this time, you get one piece, and then you get a forged face with what they call the L face. That's probably the wrong name, but understand what it is the face actually wraps down and around the bottom of the sole. And when you do that, that's going to allow for more forgiveness and more speed lower on the face. So you're going to get a nice forged face. You're going to get also that nice L cup around there for forgiveness and speed. The other thing that's nice about this iron is you still get your sole grind like you get, but you also get your variable face technology. So like you see in a lot of other irons, they can make the face thicker and thinner throughout the clubs to make sure they don't get hot spots. So that no matter where you hit it, not only is it forgiving, but you get similar ball speeds, meaning you're gonna get tighter dispersion up around the green. And when you go to the 350, you're not getting much different than you got in the 250, you're just getting a larger package. Something that's gonna launch a little bit higher, it's gonna be a little bit more forgiving, but again, it's still gonna have the L face, forged face, you're gonna have the variable face technology, and you're gonna have that more one-piece design. And so both of these irons, you're gonna get forgiveness, speed, but you're also gonna get that classic forged Titleist feel.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, let's hit them.
Absolutely, awesome.
Yeah, great feel. Little right.
Little right, maintain the ball speed.
Yeah.
Okay, we can expect a little bit shorter distance on that kind of a cut.
That one felt a little clunkier, maybe a high on the face, but
Okay,
but
still
still
got it too.
200 yards, yeah, that was
right.
a great shot. 134, 133.5.
Wowza. That was nice.
Yeah, that was peppered.
Yeah, I mean, let's stop it there. What we saw from that T250, effortless distance.
Yep.
Okay, effortless ball speed. We were swinging 91.5, which is a little bit lower than your typical kind of average, whether that was the weight of the head or just needing to get a little bit more loose. Either way, you produced a lot higher ball speed than I've seen from you in the past, right? So ball speed, 131, smash factor, way above PGA Tour average, right? I don't necessarily think you need to go into these just yet in the 6-iron and on down. Your handicap might say that you do, but the data doesn't. So, so at the end of the day, I think you're safe from the T250 right now in the 6-iron. Something I definitely would think about in that 4-iron. Okay, in the bag to maintain that kind of gapping, that 5-mile-an-hour ball speed difference between the two, but really tight carry consistency. And what I really love about this, yes, we hit one off to the right, you fanned one. Okay, it didn't lose a ton of distance.
No.
It still carried about 200 yards.
Oh, 100%.
Right? And so to see that fade shot, not to be that weak
Well,
short
Tiger
shot,
used to always talk about it, man.
the power fade.
When he would
yeah,
walk
but that
up
was
to,
intentional.
When he walked up to the when he walked up to the green, even on miss hits, he'd
Yeah.
still be like, pin high, baby.
Yeah.
Pin high.
That's
right?
how he said it?
You could be right, left, or center, but if you're pin high, That's nice.
That's
right?
true. It's
Yeah.
a lot easier to get up and down. And that's a really good point to make, Joe, because if we can keep that same kind of consistency with your distance, even when we miss one out to the right, or we pull one off to the left, which, hey, the only good thing about pulls, they typically go a little bit longer, right? But to see a fade that doesn't go shorter is pretty powerful to be, pretty much pin high with that one. A lot easier to get up and down.
Absolutely.
Yeah, really, really cool stuff. Let's try that T350 now. So with the T350, we have pure good looks, okay, with this club head. All right, that's the Titleist line. They want a pure good looks. It's a complete steel body, steel backing on this one, right? So same kind of L-face technology, a little bit thicker you're going to see there, Joe, and just going to have more effortless ball speed, maximum ball speed, maximum distance with this club. All right, Joe, you're good to go. Let's hit this T350. Hammer time.
Hammer time.
And so we do have 1 degree stronger loft again from the T250 to the T350. So now we're at 26 degrees of loft. And again, more of a ball flight grab. We're getting some distance from it. We saw that there at 214. Does that miss off to the right?
Yeah, well.
A little bit.
Yep.
Yep. 207, 208. Let's round up for you. Okay, good miss there, Joe.
Yeah, not bad.
That was hit.
Yep.
Yep. Hammered.
Yep.
Nice. There we go. All right, so we just finished up the T350, the T250 test. We saw a pretty similar ball speed, just about a mile an hour improvement. Smash factor, similar thing here, just 0.01 improvement. So we were getting a little bit more out of it. The big difference here was we did see 5 yards, about 5 yards of added carry distance, and about 6 yards, 6.5 yards of added total distance, all right? And as you can see on the screen for the dispersion, we were hitting it a little bit further to the left. The offset is pretty similar throughout the line, but the T350 does have slightly more than the T250, so we can attribute some of that to it, okay? A similar dispersion shape, a little bit diagonal to the right. We did lose a little bit of the launch. We lost a little bit of spin as well. So not really something that I would put Joe in. I think we met that point of diminishing returns when it comes to the forgiveness that we had and the shape that we had, the cambering on the bottom. It just didn't work through the turf as well as the T250 did for him. So all in all, I know the perfect setup for Joe here is the T150s from 5-iron down to pitching wedge. Maybe put the T250 in the 5, but I really like that 5-iron to stay at the T150, which is where we saw the ball speed, and then jump to that T250 in the 4-iron. I think it would be a perfect setup for Joe, his next set of irons. And for a lot of you folks out there, you're thinking about doing a mixed set. Better players, I see them breaking it up with the with the T150 and the T250 at the top end of the bag. And honestly, I'll see the same thing for those scratch to plus handicaps where they go T100, and then that 5 and the 4 they go to the T150 to maintain that 5 mile an hour ball speed gap. So all in all, just a phenomenal test. Love what we're seeing from Titleist. Really, really good product. And just, man, it looks so much better. Every single year, every single iteration, I feel like Titleist just looks better and better, performs better and better. So bang up job again. That L-face design is really showing through in that T250, T350.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and if you want to see more videos, be sure to check out the channel.